Welcome back to Recap Central. Today I'm going to explain an action film called Nobody. Spoilers ahead. Subscribe for more videos like this. A man is handcuffed and looks badly beaten. He grabs a cigarette and as he smokes he opens a can of tuna. He places a kitten onto the table. A man and a woman are questioning him. Hutch Mansell seems to be an ordinary man. He and his successful wife Becca have 2 children. And he works as an office worker at his father-in-law factory. His tedious routine is wearing him down. His son Blake has no respect for him. He doesn't even greet him when he comes home. After a mind-numbing day he sleeps next to his wife, with a pillow in between that she placed. He hears the neighbor's dog barking and gets up to check. Walking down the stairs he hears intruders getting in the house. He picks up a golf club as he tries to make a call. The female intruder demands money while holding him at gunpoint. The male intruder wants his watch. Hutch sees a tattoo on the female robber's hand. As they ask for his wedding ring, Blake runs downstairs and tackles the male intruder. Hutch is about to attack him with the golf club, but stops and tells Blake to let the intruder go. He lets him go and gets punched. Blake is enraged with his father, causing him to drift even farther away from his father. The police arrive. Hutch thinks about his decision of letting the intruders get away. His family is disappointed on him. Hutch sleeps on the couch. His daughter Sammy joins him. She is the only one that loves him. She says they need a cat. Blake asks Hutch if he can interview him for a project. Hutch says he was only an auditor. His wife says he should interview his uncle who was a real soldier. The family leaves. Sammy hugs Hutch. The neighbor says he would have beaten the intruders. Hutch's tedious week begins. At work his brother-in-law offers him a gun. He declines, but Charlie insists, telling him to keep his sister safe. Hutch places the gun in a box at the back of the refrigerator. Eddie talks to Hutch for a fair offer to buy the business from him. Hutch says after a lifetime of work he expects a great offer. Hutch just wants the business to have something that is his. After watching the workers, Hutch locks his office and calls his supposedly dead brother. He explains to him he held back for attacking the intruders as they were young and desperate, and their revolver was unloaded. Harry tells him he did good and warns him to not do anything stupid. Hutch visits his father, who asks him if he remembers who he used to be. Hutch sighs before entering his home. Sammy tells him she can't find her kitty bracelet that was in the bowl with the money the robbers took. Hutch travels back to his father's house. He tells him if he does this he has to do it well. Hutch borrows his FBI badge and his gun. He asks around tattoo parlors, showing his FBI badge. One of the customers laugh and tells him the badge expired 20 years ago. They ask who he really is. He says he is just a man looking for someone and pulls out his wallet. He dares them to take the money from him. But when they see the tattoo on his wrist they change their attitude and thank him for his service. They ask how they can help, and he points to a tattoo on the counter. He gets the address of the woman. She is boiling water when her boyfriend comes in. Hutch walks in behind him. He threatens them at gunpoint and demands they give him his watch and the kitty bracelet. Their yelling wakes their baby and they beg him to leave. Hutch punches a wall in the alley. Sadness and anger consume him as he rides the bus. A vehicle stops the bus and 5 Russian thugs enter the bus. They approach a young girl. Hutch walks towards them and convinces the driver to exit the bus. He faces the thugs while emptying his gun. He threatens them and they laugh. He fights them furious. He is injured but prepares to keep fighting. He tells the woman to run. She thanks him. The brutal fight continues. He sees one of the thugs loading his gun and beats him with a steel pipe, destroying his windpipe. He assists the man with a makeshift tracheotomy. As he leaves the bus he apologizes to the driver for the mess. When he comes back home he sees his wife. She asks where he was. He says it was like old times and he misses her. As she cleans his wounds, he says she is so far away and there is no intimacy in their marriage. He asks if she remembers who they were. That night Becca removes the pillow and touches him gently. Yulian, who is a mob enforcer, enters Club Molina. He gets on stage and sings and dances. Then he speaks to a group of men. He asks if they are satisfied with the security. Yulian introduces them to Pavel, his right-hand man. The spokesman of the group says all the singing and dancing doesn't inspire trust in Yulian as the guardian of their money. He responds by killing one of their stakeholders and asks if their confidence is restored. He gets a call. He visits his brother in hospital, who has severe brain damage. One of the men in the hospital shows Yulian a card he picked up during the fight on the bus. Hutch appears happy and confident as he prepares for his day. He tells Blake he is proud of him for tackling the intruders. Harry calls and tells Hutch to meet with the barber. He tells him one of the thugs is Yulian's brother, who is a wealthy and dangerous sociopath. The barber gives Hutch the information he needs and tells him Yulian doesn't know who he is yet. He says Yulian will avenge his brother. The Obsak is an operation moving hundreds of millions of dollars. Yulian is the caretaker of the operation. Yulian learns Hutch's father lives in a nursing home downtown. A man at the Pentagon who has been blackmailed by Yulian checks for Hutch's information. He is listed as nobody. He sends the information to Yulian's office. Hutch makes a meal for his family and suggests they go to Italy. He sees a car approaching and tells his family to go into the basement immediately. Yulian has sent a crew headed by Pavel to kill Hutch. Hutch stands in the darkness and launches an attack of his own, killing most of the men. But Pavel takes him down with a taser. They drag Hutch into a trunk and handcuff him. He dislocates his wrists to escape the cuffs. He finds a fire extinguisher and uses it to blind the abductors. The car hits a traffic light and flips. Before Pavel dies, Hutch tells him who he is. Hutch runs to open the basement for his family. They drive to a safe place. Hutch places the dead and injured men in a couch and starts speaking. He explains he is a former auditor, an assassin used by intelligence agencies to kill people who were untouchable or too difficult to arrest. He did his job until he let a man go free. The first man he let speak before killing him. After retiring, he has done everything possible to forget about his old life. He finds the kitty bracelet next to a radio. He always knew his life was just a facade that lasted longer than he expected. He tells the men bones burn at 500 degrees. He sets the house on fire and takes a photo of his family before leaving. He steals his arrogant neighbor's car and drives away. Assassins enter David's room. They approach as he pretends to be asleep. David kills them both. Hutch pours a bag full of gold bars on Eddie's desk and tells him he is buying the company. Yulian sees in the news Pavel died. Hutch prepares his weapons at the factory. Hutch goes where the mafia count the money and shoots them all. When he is done, he burns Yulian's money. Hutch goes to the club to meet Yulian. He reveals a bomb under his napkin. Yulian goes insane when he reveals he burnt his money. Hutch tells him he can either come after him or take what is left and run away. Hutch exits the club and Yulian's men chase him to the factory. Unbeknownst to Hutch, David and Harry are inside the factory to help him kill the gangsters. Using a variety of traps Hutch has set up, they kill all the men except for Yulian, who shoots Harry. Hutch rushes towards him with a bomb attached to a bulletproof shield. It explodes, killing Yulian. He thanks David and Harry as they leave before the police comes. Hutch calls Becca and tells her he loves her. Hutch finds a kitten. The police arrest him, but quickly release him without charges. 3 months later, while buying a house, Hutch gets a call telling him his services are needed. He asks if the house has a basement. In the last scene, we see David and Harry driving on the coast with a van full of guns.